Hey everybody, how are ya? Nice Rhode Plazz here, Zazoo Plazz. It's a nice sunny, crisp Connecticut day, January 24th, 2021. And I got my tree here. I'm standing up. I just wanted to be in the sun. I figured I'll make this short because my lips are freezing. I'm all bundled up. I'm back in the same general area I was in last week, but I'm looking at the pond and the sun is over there. I was a little lazy getting out here today because it was so nice sitting in the sun in my kitchen, having my coffee. I didn't want to come out here and do this because it was so cold, but I'm determined. Every week I'm going to find a different spot, and I'm going to come out here and I'm taking in the energy of the tree. And with the sun on my face and all the trees around me, it's not too bad out here. As long as the sun is high. Once it starts going down. So, anyway, today, Moon in Gemini. I guess I started thinking as I was sitting in the sun, said, it's so warm. It reminded me of the times when I was growing up, and right around high school time. My parents built a house down in Rhode Island on the shore. South shore of Rhode Island, in between Musqueam Beach, the public beach there, and in Narragansett. It was in the middle, and about a mile from the beach. But all the other kids, they would just go to the beach in the summer, right? And it was nice and warm. You got your blanket, put the blanket on the beach. You got your picnic cooler and everything. And they'd sit there and have a beach day and go home. Not me. My parents used to like to go and see the house in the winter, in the middle of the winter in January. So I found some pictures. I was thinking about my mom this week because, my mom she hasn't been feeling too well. So she's been in my thoughts more than usual, and I think she's going to be fine now. So, but I found this picture of me and Mom. I think this was like in the spring, somewhere around 82, maybe, or fall of 81. So we're on the beach at Charlestown, Rhode Island is where our place was. They've sold it since. Somebody else is living there now, but we built it. My parents built it from the ground up. And so from the time I was a little kid, maybe 10, we used to go and look at the lot. And then we'd go, and they dug a hole in the ground. So we'd go and look at the hole in the ground. And then we'd go look at the foundation. And on it went. So there's me and Mom walking the beach. We're all bundled up in our turtlenecks and sweatshirts. And this other one, I think I was in college for this one. Maybe mid-80s, somewhere, maybe 84. I think this was 84. We're all bundled up. We had gone down to check the house. Now, in the off season, sometimes I'd come home from college for the weekend. We'd go to Rhode Island because it was closer to Boston. They'd pick me up in Boston, and we'd go down to Rhode Island. Sometimes I'd do my homework. I'd go to the University of Rhode Island, which is nearby, and maybe I'd use their library, and then I'd study. And sometimes we'd go out. And this was in Galilee, which is an actual town. It's Point Judith, and it's where I actually mentioned this in the book, and there's a picture of me standing in front of, just around this spot, there's a restaurant called George's of Galilee, and they serve things like Rhode Island clam chowder, and clam cakes, and fritters, and all that great stuff. So we'd go, the house, we'd check in the house, we'd sit there for a while. The bathrooms were never working because they turned the water off in the fall. And, we'd sit in the sun. If it was a sunny day, we'd sit in front of the sliding door and get that sun. Sometimes they turn the heat on, but not usually. Not in the winter. In the winter, we would just go, keep our coats on, and sit there and stay for a while, check the house, and then we'd go and get clam cakes and chowder, and then we'd go home back to Connecticut, which was about an hour and a half drive. So sometimes I'd bring friends with me, and most of them had never really been to the beach in the winter. One of my friends had never been to the beach at all. He lived in Connecticut all his life. So that was an experience. But the nice thing about going to the beach in the winter, there's nobody there. So you have the whole beach to yourself. You can do whatever. And seeing the ocean is such a different experience in the winter. It's cold, it's raw, it's bare. Everything is bare. Didn't usually get much snow down there, but the wind would be whipping, and you'd be walking on the beach in your boots. Definitely not barefoot, but it's a stark. It's desolate in a beach town in the winter. It's like the song by Don Henley, "The Boys of Summer." Where she's got her Ray-Bans. I can see you, sun shining in the sun. Got your shades. Well, anyway, I'm not going to sing today. My lips are frozen. But you got your hair pulled back. Wayfarers on, baby. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of going. Never mind, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, it was kind of like that. All the summer people have gone, and it's just the winter people. The regulars, the people who knew where all the good restaurants were that were off the beaten track. My parents had friends who lived down there year-round, so they knew the stores to shop, all the places, and there was nobody down there, which they liked. My parents are not crowd people. They're the kind of people who will go back to the city or the suburbs on 4th of July weekend just because they can't, they don't want to be with all the hubbub. So, anyway, I was thinking, Galilee, that's kind of biblical, right? Where Jesus went, and he was a Pisces, so he liked to be around fish in the ocean, right? And all his friends were fishermen, mostly, right? The thing about that is, my parents, they put a lot of energy into their houses. They had 2 houses, and they'd go in one, and they'd fuss over it, and they'd clean, and then they'd go back to the other one and fuss and clean and worry about the other one. While they were in one house, they'd worry about the other house. And I thought, I like to go on vacation in a different place all the time. So for me as a kid growing up, yeah, it was okay, but after the first few years, I'm like, okay, time to move on. But they still maintain their house for years and years and years. And it was a source of comfort for them, you know. And then they sold it when they couldn't maintain the 2 houses anymore. But, you know, that some people, that's how they are in the world. They're grounded. They're earth-based, you know. And other people kind of like fly with the wind. Gemini. You know, I like to meet different people, go to different places, explore, see different trees, you know, and I don't have to go very far, but I like to mix it up. I don't like to be in the same place all the time. I mean, even if you're living in the same town, you're a different person. So that's, but I do like to, I don't know, have the feeling of a different place. You know, even if it's just facing a different way in the woods, the same woods, or in my room, or whatever. I like to put energy into exploring experiences like myself, you know, and making myself a better person, improving the lives of people around me, putting energy into the things that don't change, the things that are eternal, the things that are, the things that don't fall apart, you know, that like you eat, right? You have clam cakes and chowder, and about 2 hours later, you gotta eat again, or whatever. You know, it doesn't last, it doesn't satisfy, you know? For the journey. If you have your eyes set on the things, building up the light within you, putting that out there, you know, other people come around. It's like the beach in the summer. But you have to go through the winter first to get to the summer. You got to build your house. You got to create your future house. And it's not the kind that you get a mortgage on. Your future, where are you going to dwell? You know, my first house was my parents' house, and then a bunch of apartments and the beach house, and then my husband and I built our own house, and I've been living there for like 20 something years. Where's our future house going to be? That's where we're going. You know, put your creative energies into the place that, instead of, you know, like, you know, some people, they're building their house, they're going to go live down south where it's warm, you know, and that's it. They're going to be, you know, driving around in their red sports cars and you know, get tan and, you know, be where it's warm all the time. Not me. I got too many things to do to sit in one place on the beach. I'm just getting started, building my future, setting my sights on a different kind of life. And don't you dare call it retirement. That's the worst word in the English language for people like me. I have never been the retiring kind of person, and I never will be. If you ask me to sit still on a beach, it won't happen. Because I'll be surfing in the waves, and I'll be running on the beach, and then I'm going to be, you know, yeah, it's not going to happen. There's too much to do. Too much work to be done. Be sipping my cocktail with my toes in the sand. Nope. Besides, I like cold weather. Even if it means, standing out in the woods. Hey, they prepared me well as a child. Used to freezing my face off outside. It's refreshing. And then you can go in and have hot chocolate. I get a great view of the lake here. I like lakes. I like to vacation at lakes. Lakes are nice. Builds character. So anyway, I'm going to go and get my groceries delivered, meet the truck. I'm making a harvest stew with, it's like chicken sausage and carrots and parsnips and butternut squash and kale. I have a whole bunch of kale to use up. Throw that in there. And then for dessert, it's Brennan's last day. He's going back to campus tomorrow. He's all set, cleared to go back to campus. So it's his last meal. A little sourdough bread. I'm going to make a winter fruit crisp with pears and frozen cherries. My husband, he went out and bought me frozen cherries because I couldn't find them anywhere. Thanks, hubby. And he also got vanilla ice cream. So I'll post a picture of the winter fruit crisp. It's going to have like an oatmeal brown sugar topping. And I'll put a scoop of vanilla, low-fat ice cream on there. I can taste it. So anyway, that's my Sunday. And I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you stay warm. Yeah, get outside and explore, but it's good to come in and warm up. It makes it all worthwhile. And find yourself a nice tree for sunbathing. This is not going anywhere. It's got good roots. Yeah. So anyway, they don't have these kind of trees down in, down south so much. So I'm going to go take a few pictures, enjoy the day, and soak up the sun. Like, thanks, Sheryl Crow. I'm going to soak up the sun. Until next time, have a wonderful week, wonderful day. I hope you go and soak the juices out of life. And I'll see you next week. Zazoo Plazz signing out. Bye-bye.